traders, this is Rich with BrisbaneWithTheMarkets.com. How you doing today? Today is July 30th, 2025. Can you believe it's going to be August already? Man, it's just like we just had Christmas moments ago, and it's already getting close. So summer's just about over. Anyways, this is my little area where I trade each and every day. The only reason I'm showing you this is because these are the tools that I use. It's not the tools that are necessary to trade, but I don't believe in trading on a phone. Have I done it? Absolutely. Have I lost doing that? Yes. Is that an excuse why I lost? No. But the bottom line is you're distracted, you're out in public, you're trading off of your phone. And if you're trading an account that you really need, or a live account, or say you have a funded account and you're on your phone, that's not good. That's not good at all. I like wide screens, and the reason I like wide screens, I like to see the entire market. That's just how I like to trade. I can see the entire market and understand what's going on in the market. What do we need as far as trading? Obviously, you need a platform. I use Quantower I was using them for Top Step. I used them for Apex, and I'm using them for Take Profit Trader right now. That's the only one I'm using on Quantower right now is Take Profit Trader. From my understanding, you can use a lot of different funded trader accounts, evaluations from different prop firms on Quantower. Quantower is a kick-ass system to me. I like it. Just like any other platform or system, you need to get used to it, and there's going to be a learning curve. Why is there a learning curve every time you go somewhere? It's because of just emotions, right? Emotions. So here's a live chart from today on live. Yes, live money, and on the NQ. And so you can see all the trades that I was taking on NQ in a live account with the real money, not a prop firm. And then here's another chart on Roblox Corporation. They had a great overnight spike, overnight play. So did the NASDAQ, to be honest. But I was shorting them both today. And then I went long with NASDAQ also when it turned. But anyways, let's get back into tricks of the trade or tools. So if we're going to practice, we probably want to practice on some type of screen, a laptop, not a phone. The phone is small. If that's the only thing you have, I get it. I know people that trade options on phones and they see where they're at in the market. Trading options on a phone is not a big deal. But if you're scalping the market, swing trading is no big deal either. I guess what I'm getting at is if you're scalping and you're in and out of the market fast, looking for aggressive trades, looking for compounding and things of that nature, then your phone is probably not ideal. Remember probabilities, right? So what are the probabilities of you messing up? What's the probabilities? I was on the phone the other day in my truck in a parking lot, and I couldn't find the fucking exit button on the phone. And then the Wi-Fi. Then I had to reconnect. It's just a bunch of headaches. That's an issue, and it's always going to be an issue. The best place to trade is in your little cubicle, wherever that is, in your house, quiet, nobody around, or they're sleeping. If there's a lot of people around, you shouldn't be trading, just in my opinion. Too much distraction. You really need to be focused. It is a professional sport. I believe that. I always will say that. And it takes a professional skill. Can you gamble? Can you go and play softball for fun, drink beer, play softball, go out after the fact? Yeah, you can do that. Can you have a good game? Of course. Of course. But when the competition shows up, sorry, I had to leave and I forgot where the fuck I was at. I don't read from a teleprompter. They're not script. As you can see in the background, I have two 49-inch screens side by side. There's a curve shape. Just a normal computer. I don't know the speed. I don't get into all that. I'm the first to admit that I know nothing about technology. All I want is clarity. I want to see the screen. If I fuck up, I own it. Not because of the computers, not because of the screen, not because of the tools. I don't blame it on the tools. When I screw up, I own it. Will I screw up? Yes. Will I screw up again? Yes. Always. We're always going to. That term of being humbled. It's the same thing. When you lose, you lose. Sometimes you lose big. That's okay. That's part of the game. We know that. If you get into trading and think that you're going to win each and every trade, not possible. Are there highest probability trades? Absolutely. Can you get in and get out pretty easily every day? Absolutely. But maybe I'm not interested in $100. Maybe you're not interested in $100. I don't know. There are people that just take $100 out of the market each and every day. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Even if it's $50 a day. You know, if you go to a big brokerage and you trade stocks and you scalp 50 to 100 bucks a day out of the market each and every day, nothing wrong with that. That's more than you had yesterday. As long as you don't get into that gambling mentality. Size? Look at some of the size I had today on Roblox. What does this say over here? About 1,700 shares traded today on that. Look at the NASDAQ live account. Hitting the market southbound, then I hit it northbound. So I scalped it down and scalped it back up. These are trades. I don't show everything on the internet. Not required to. Don't need to. I really don't give a shit. But I share information with the mentees. And that's the only people that I share information with. If they have a question, they get an answer. I don't guess. I don't pretend that I know. If I don't know something, I just simply say it. I have no clue. I don't know. No idea. Check it out. I'll get back with you. That's interesting. I'd like to know the same thing. That's the way I live. If I don't know something, I look it up. And I think that all traders should do the same thing rather than pretending that they fucking know everything. Because when you pretend you fucking know everything, you actually know nothing. You absolutely know nothing. Being a lifetime student is trading freedom, traders. Being a lifetime student is trading free. Free. When you can trade with freedom, you know you're making progress. Being a lifetime student, saying it, breathing it, explaining it, understanding it is very powerful. A lot of people have an edge in the market. A lot of people scalp. A lot of people think they're swing traders and then they actually scalp in the market. And a lot of people think that they're scalpers and they actually swing in the market. You know, it's the old saying. You know, once you hold your trade overnight, you're no intraday trader. You're an overnight. You're an overnighter. You're no longer a trader. You're an investor. You are actually investing that money overnight. That's not a trade. That's investing money. Buying the low, buying the high, buying the dips, whatever it may be. Yeah, you've invested. Yes, you've invested in the market. Yes, you just take buys because you know the stock market is designed to go up. That's great. Everyone makes money. Everyone has a 401k. Everyone meaning they're fortunate enough to have it. Okay, not everyone in the world. But just to buy and leave it there. Okay, but that's not trading. Traders understand traders. You have to get in your zone. You have to stay in your lane. And whatever equipment that you have, use it. Don't abuse it. Cherish it. And learn to trade off of it. Once again, I would not trade off a phone. I wouldn't even practice off a phone. And when we get to practicing in demo accounts, you know, the prop firms make demo accounts for reasons. Same with the brokerages. You get in there with high leverage, and then you get down to your funded account, you no longer have that leverage. You no longer have those $20,000, $30,000 days of gambling because you wanted to get back at the market. You don't have that. So you need to practice how you play. You can't expect to use the highest leverage in a demo account and then drop down to 1/16th or 1/100th of that and expect to have the results that you had gambling. It doesn't work that way. In a live account, all it does is it takes more money. It takes about $35,000 or more, depending on the brokerage you have, to cover one mini in the market, minimum. So you want to hold that trade overnight? That's not going to work. If it gaps down, there's a lot to think about. But just because you have money in a brokerage account doesn't mean you cannot trade it. A lot of traders on here, a lot of traders and gurus, not a lot, but some traders come up with an excuse as to why they're losing because they're at a brokerage. Now, the other day I had about $2,000 in fees in a day. I wasn't happy about that, scalping the shit out of the market. So I was profitable on my trades, very profitable on my trades. But then I had $2,000 in fees. You have to really understand what the purpose is, what the goals are. And if the goals are money, you're going to run into different roadblocks here and there, whether you go from one platform or the other. That's a fact. But could you afford $2,000 in fees every day? You want to scalp as much as I do? You better be profitable, right? You better have a skill. Someone's making money, right? And that's even having one of the lowest round trip fees because I have a good reputation there. But still, I don't want to fucking pay $2,000 in fees in a day. Hell no. So you might have to trade. You might have to do something different, mix it up. But that does not mean that your strategy changes. Remember, a platform is a strategy in itself. A brokerage is a strategy in itself. Your trading strategy, your edge. I don't have a trading strategy or edge. I just trade the market. It's not, I don't trade order blocks, fair value gaps. I don't trade any of that shit. I trade the market. I follow the market. I understand the market. I teach the market, the entire market. So it's not an edge. I call it the highest probability trades. At that time, the moment, the weakest hand in the market, based on objective facts in the market. That's not a strategy to me. The strategy to me is like tunnel vision. Just a slice of the pie. I want the whole fucking pie. I want to be able to see the whole market and what the market's doing, what it intends to do with the high probability, and the reasons why, with objective evidence in the market. That to me is trading. Yes, there's day traders, there's great scalpers out there. They fade, they do all this stuff. They get down in the penny stocks and, they're scalping $1.50 here and there on pumps and dumps. Whatever works for them. Do they make money on it? Absolutely they do. Absolutely. Depends on what they want to do. But that's not trading the whole market. That doesn't mean they don't know how to trade. It's just not trading the whole market. I want to see the whole market. I want to be able to trade long and short whenever I see that setup. That's a fact. I want to understand what the market's doing, how it's not going to fake out, things of that nature. But anyways, I just wanted to touch base, talk a little bit about trading, show you the trade setup. It's nothing big. I just put it together. And actually, the funny thing is I had another setup and I went out and bought actual tables and made it into a trading desk. So I bought 2 kitchen tables, if you can imagine that, made it into a trading desk, did all the wiring and stuff myself, up underneath the tables, got my little gadgets on the desk. I got some bullhorns there, some other things. No, actually, I'm not, other than that, nothing else. If you want to learn how to trade on a daily basis, go to breathingwiththemarkets.com and I will mentor you one-on-one and teach you how to trade that market. And you will learn a skill. A skill will last a lifetime if you continue to practice it over and over again. And for all those traders that had a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, don't worry about it. It's education. That's education to the market. It's tuition to the market. Education in the market is the most valuable piece of information you can have. Don't repeat it. I know I can say don't repeat it. Will I repeat and do stupid shit? Yes. So you're human. Just because you lose doesn't mean everyone else wins. That's not how this works. We're in this together, all right? You will lose. I will lose. We will all lose. And guess what? We will all lose together. Losing is part of the game, traders. And you can't win every day. You can't win every trade. Just understand the market and do the same thing over and over and over again, and you'll get better each and every day. Again, I will mentor you one-on-one. All you do is go to breathingwiththemarkets.com. If you have any questions about the program or anything like that, you can press the contact button on the website at breathingwiththemarkets.com, and that email, I'll get that email and I'll answer your questions, concerns, whatever you have. Send me an email, reach out to me. Doesn't matter what your question is as long as it's legal. Read all the disclaimers. There's nothing for certain in life, right? You can teach someone a skill, but if they don't practice the skill, this is where people are going to learn how to trade or not trade, right? So if you learn how to trade objectively in the market, it doesn't mean with just me, go with someone else, doesn't matter. But if you learn how to trade objectively in the market, objective evidence in the market, and you go back in history and look at that and repeat it over and over and over again, find the gems in the market. There's a lot of gems in the market that people don't talk about. That's a fact. So once you have that information, you have to practice. And once you practice, you're going to get better and better each and every day. How can you not get better and better each and every day? I ask the mentees all the time. I said, go back 3 months, go back 2 months, go back, from January, August, whatever. Where were you back then and where are you today? Look at the progress that you made. Okay, so now move forward 6 months and where are you going to be? You're going to be better than you are today. That's a fact. If you continue to practice and you continue to hone in on your skill, you're going to get it. You're going to understand what the process is. Because as you continue to go against the process, what happens? You're going to lose. I keep saying that. Don't go against the process. If I go against the fucking process that I teach, I fucking lose. Will I? Yeah, I'll test that shit again. And guess what? I'll lose. Don't do it. We're all human. No one's perfect. Take care. Peace, traders.